Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, FAI World Glider Championship competition concludes. Cessna Pilot Center network grows. South Korean military learns about truth in advertising. Hello, I'm Christopher Ciotum. It's January 25th, 2017, and this is Airborne Unlimited. A hard-fought two-week battle in Australian skies saw three new world gliding champions win gold medals. The Fédération Aéronautique Internationale gliding world champions were crowned last Sunday, bringing the competition to a close. Russell Cheetham from Great Britain took gold in the open class, scraping ahead of defending FAI world champion Michael Sommer. France's Killian Walbrou took gold in the hotly contested 18-meter class. Class refers to the wingspan. And finally, gliding legend Sebastian Kawa from Poland secured yet another FAI Gliding World Championship gold medal with a comprehensive win in the 15-meter class. Held in the small Australian town of Benalla in rural Victoria, the 34th FAI World Gliding Championship suffered from some poor weather, and when the sky conditions were good, the flying was sometimes difficult because of the number of gliders in the air at the same time. In gliding competitions, pilots take off and fly around a different course every day. They must tag certain turn points before returning to base. Each task takes several hours to complete, and the fastest around the course wins. Textron Aviation has announced its Cessna Pilot Center network added 24 new partners in 2016, including 5 international flight schools in Argentina, Canada, Colombia, Germany, and Poland. Textron's Doug May, the vice president of Piston Aircraft, said in part, "Our commitment to supporting new pilot education and flight training is evident in the enthusiasm we see from our partner flight schools. Throughout 2016, we saw significant growth to the network, and we're excited to continue that momentum into the new year." The Cessna Pilot Center network now includes a total of 163 flight schools, and Textron plans on further growth and expansion. Textron says more pilots come to Cessna Pilot Centers than any other network of flight schools to get their wings. After the break, video game used to promote military aircraft by South Korea.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Welcome back. If you'd like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. A marketing video shown by the South Korean military to build interest in its Kai KFX fighter jet was impressive, but report indicates it was a fake and some footage was used illegally. Engadget reports that the video produced and shown since 2015 contains footage from the video games Battlefield 3, Ace Combat, and Assault Horizon. To make matters worse, the government did not get the permission of the video game producers to use the footage when it produced the video. Once the news went public, they quickly admitted that the clips had been plagiarized and agreed to stop using the footage to promote the airplane. However, it's reported that nobody is admitting culpability. The military says the company that made the video was at fault, while the video producers say that both the Agency for Defense Development and Korea Aerospace Industries had final say over the content before it was released. Whoever was responsible for this leads to the question, what were they thinking? With some 3,000 Aero-TV programs webcast to cyberspace, sometimes it can be fun to look back and enjoy some of the places we've seen, the flyers we've met, and the planes we've flown. Here's a look at one of our favorite Aero-TV classic episodes.
Okay, so we brought out the UL-94. We've been working on this for the last couple of years. We got FAA supplemental type certificates.
It's well known that someday leaded aviation fuels must be a thing of the past. In this video, we get an update from Swift Fuels about their progress in producing and marketing an alternative fuel. Search Fuel for the Future on Aero-TV's news channel. After these messages, SpaceX to deliver supplies to the space station next month.
Redbird Flight Simulations is dedicated to revolutionizing flight training by designing, manufacturing, and delivering affordable and innovative flight training technologies. Each Redbird device is designed to enhance the training experience for pilots of all levels, from student to ATP. Redbird is quickly becoming the industry standard for flight training. Since Redbird introduced its revolutionary FMX in 2007, colleges, universities, and flight training operations around the world have integrated Redbird products into their curriculum. It's time to discover what Redbird can do for you. Join the migration.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight four-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
With so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing a few of those other great stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The next launch of an uncrewed Dragon cargo spacecraft to ISS is planned for no earlier than February from Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. This is the 10th mission by SpaceX under NASA's Commercial Resupply Services contract. The FAA has approved construction of a new football stadium in Los Angeles, California for the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers teams. The owner of the Rams has agreed to install a secondary aircraft tracking system at the stadium to satisfy FAA requirements. NASA is installing a new rig for testing tiltrotor type aircraft at an unprecedented scale in wind tunnels. The testing will take place in the biggest wind tunnel in the world, which is the National Full-Scale Aerodynamics Complex at NASA's Ames Research Center. According to news sources, Gulf air carrier Emirates is undergoing a modest restructuring following a reported 75% drop in half-year profits. It's reported the decline can be attributed to slower than anticipated growth, increased competition, and a stronger dollar. Once again, a major U.S. carrier was grounded because of IT problems. United Airlines was grounded last Sunday by what was reported to be a problem with the carrier's ACARS system, which sends key information about the aircraft to the airline's operations center. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's get back to the rest of the news. It would make sense to conclude that federal aviation fuel taxes are collected for the purpose of supporting aviation-related services. However, that's not always the case. A Clayton County, Georgia legislative delegation is opposing a change in an FAA policy that would end the diversion of millions in fuel taxes to the county general fund. In Clayton County, which is the home of Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, the delegation says the change could cost the county nearly $20 million it currently receives and distributes to the 7 cities in the county and local school districts. At a meeting of the legislative delegation and city leaders last week, Lake City, Georgia City Manager Chris Lady said that losing the fuel tax revenues would be devastating not only to this county, but the cities. State Representative Valencia Stovall said in a newspaper interview that the delegation will have to take an aggressive approach to finding solutions that will be best for Georgia and Clayton. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed daily, Monday through Friday, with additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Keep flying. We'll see you tomorrow.